This is Les's Hammond B3 organ, and actually that's my main instrument, but I don't know how to put one anymore these days, but I wouldn't mind having his. So that's his 122 Leslie speaker. It's something I would love to have just because it was Les's. There's a variety of banjos. Les would, use banjos for overdubbing. These were some of his lamps and torchères that he had in his house. And then as we walk into this next room, this is mostly from his playback systems here. You've got his speakers with the horns and a lot of other recording gear. And everything here is iconic, and everything here, just the fact that it was Les's is going to make somebody want to own it. This is Les's Fender Rhodes piano. This was in the studio, and every studio has to have a good piano, good organ. We saw the Steinway before, we saw the Hammond B3. This is the Fender Rhodes. These were a lot more of these guitars that were given to Les. Some of them were actually used by him. Some of them were guitars that were given as gifts that he played. Some more than others. There were even some Epiphone guitars that were given to Les that were either prototypes or something that was given to him for his approval. This guitar here is something that was pointed out to me yesterday. This has got his attachment for a microphone here, and it was signed by Les in this area. And these are some Epiphone Les Paul customs. This is a Gibson Les Paul standard here. Actually, it was a deluxe that had humbuckings added to it. Another Epiphone custom. This is a Melody Maker 12-string in candy apple red that Les obviously put different pickups in. Again, everything was, he was in search of a tone, and he would continue to do this kind of thing, to just have a variety of paintbrushes at his disposal for his art. Into this next room, we have some more of his things. There's an accordion, this contraption here. I believe this is a violin with a horn probably added to amplify it, in some way, almost like a National Steel is almost like a resonator would be. There's a couple of ukuleles. There's another F-style mandolin over here. These are some more Les Pauls. These are more artifacts from his house. There's his driver's license, his license plate from his car, Les Paul, New York.
Should bet on that. Put it on your car.
Absolutely. And here's some banjos and an electric mandolin, a Kalamazoo, which was a subsidiary of Gibson. And obviously this is another one that he did some experimentation on. Walking in here, we've got one of his early TVs and a very early record player home stereo system. This is obviously from the late 40s, early 50s. Here we have some more of Les's stuff. This is a very unusual L5 guitar, but with Les's low impedance pickups and obviously some experimentation in the wiring on that. ES355. An Ovation, some more of his recording gear, the Gibson L4 archtop overhaul. This is 1933, I believe. And here's his drill press. And we're going to go out and look at a few more things. Everybody, this is my friend Tom Hilby, and Tom is a guitar collector. I've known him for years, but he's an audiophile and he deals in vintage audio equipment. Tom, why don't you just tell us, the importance of some of this?
Yeah. There's some real heredity here, and there's some of the earliest serial numbers, earliest versions. And you look at all these beautiful guitars, and you know what they are. When you take something like this, and it barely has a name on it, but the Pultec. This is the tube equalizer in the back. There's a tube for every one of these frequencies. They're very, very rare. It'll bring a lot more than there is in the early version of Pultec. These things, the 1176s, this is like Rick Rude Everybody, they made thousands of them, but this is like the Swiss Army knife of the limiters. You got this one here. Jimmy Page owns 40. When they did the reissue of his album, he went out and bought like 40 or 50 of these to use to mix it. This is a stereo version of this.
These are Uri's.
Uri 1176. This one here is actually the tube version, and these are rare as hen's teeth. I own one. I actually have owned two in my life. There's two here. It's the 175. This is the tube version of this. They came in a solid state. Right? And we should go over here.
Let's look at some of these other consoles and that kind of thing. So tell me about this console over here. What's the importance of this?
Well, Norm, here's the deal. Is an automated process, or known as API, from Farmingdale, New York. This is the American recording console, where England had the Naves and whatever. The American version, the best ones. To give you an example, Stairway to Heaven was recorded at Sunset Sound. They had 4 rooms with these. Bob Markliff with all the Stevie Wonder albums. You can see actually how it's equipped with wheels. This is similar to the one that was at the first one at the record plant, because at the record plant they'd record Stevie Wonder Monday through Friday, then Friday night they would roll it out and put it in the remote truck. This is how expensive these were today, and they wanted to maximize it.
How old would you say?
This is one of the first 5 made. How do I know that? The way I know that is because these are the input modules, these 8 that were added later. You can see right here, these are in gangs of 4. Each of these is 4, and the later model, they were single input strips. So this is when just the 16-track machine, you see the 16-track machines here, just when the 16-track 2-inch came out is about when this came out. Les Moine, the latest and greatest of everything. This is the equalizer, Norm, that everybody, all of the Rolling Stones stuff, all of the Eric Clapton stuff, the Allman Brothers. This is the famous 550 EQ. And this is the EQ that people still today, companies still in business for over.
It's like a quality vintage guitar where it's just as important today as it was back in the day.
I'll show you a couple, if you want to go back here, I'll show you a couple other things. This is the Ampex 440, basically the same kind of a machine, but they made this in a half-inch, a quarter-inch machine, and an 8-track machine. And keep in mind that the Sgt. Pepper's album was recorded on 4-track machines. They didn't even have 1-inch or 8 tracks. So this was the evolving of this industry. So they came out with this. All the Doors albums were recorded on this exact model.
So they would like ping pong the
so you can
instruments and then stack them and then
and
go to another
overdub
track.
them. And it actually even gets worse than that, because a buddy of mine who worked with Paul Rothchild, they would actually physically, so you pull the tape out here and the cutting block would be here, and they would actually cut little tracks out and glue them back in, because when it's going fast enough, you don't hear the little, so you're going fast enough, you're going 15 IPs, so you're going fast enough, and then it evolved to this, which is 1 through 8. So again, more tracks, and it really ended up as 24 track for years, which was 2 inch, but they made the tracks smaller, and then we went into the digital age.
That's how they used to edit film too.
Yes, yes. And actually the video machine, which was called an Ampex Quad machine, which is the same frame of these, they used this because the video, instead of the tracks going this way, they go this way. So they had to put this liquid there with a view, they called it clear view or something, and so you could actually cut between the sync marks.
And splice
This
them
was the
together.
Life-In era, Laugh-In, the George Schlatter Laugh-In era.
Well, Tommy, thank you so much. I mean,
Hey,
this
Norm.
is Mr. Knowledgeable on vintage recording gear, and so you're getting it all right here and right now.
It's
Tom
just-
Hilby. my
Thank
man.
you. So it's great to share the knowledge of this technology.
Absolutely. Well, we both know about guitars, but this is something I'm being educated on right now.
Thank you.
So Tommy, on all of these microphones, I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff. What is like the holy grail of these mics?
Well, to put it in guitar terms, you have the 59 Les Paul Sunburst with a nice neck, the holy grail that they only made a few of, and coincidentally it was in the similar kind of 3-year time span, is this one here that's called the Telefunken Elam 251. They made, I used to think it was 1,000 until I bought serial number 1242 and found out that they actually made about 1,400 of them. And this was only available in 1968, 69, 70, and that was about it.
So next to a U47, which is the Neumann mic, which is sort of like the standard of the industry, where does this rate?
They made about, maybe, I'm going to guess, 5,000 to 10,000 47s. Then Telefunken made thousands of them. I mean, still, that's a $14,000 mic today, where this is a $25,000 mic.
Is it mainly because of history or because of quality?
Well, the thing is, okay, the Neumann was German with the U47 capsule, and it's a great mic and wonderful, but the Telefunken is a little rarer, and this is AKG, Telefunken, and Norelco. Those companies were all kind of working together in that period of time.
Would you say this produces a better sound than
It does.
the U47?
Well, and then it gets to be like, and not that it's better, that, you know, is a Les Paul Gold Top or a 57 Strat, you know, how they have different sounds. And
Apples and oranges.
Apples and oranges, and this is the same thing. This is also considered one of the more flat mics. It is a higher end bump. Where a Neumann U47 would be like, say, a 57 Strat, and they made that many of them. This would be like the last year of the 59 with the most flame, and they made the less of.
Cool.
Uses a different tube. It's really the reference. What every other mic is compared to is the Telefunken Elam. There was a 250 and a 251, but you'll see the Beatles singing in this mic in all the Beatles books. You see Frank Sinatra sing. This is
It's the one to have.
Every studio had one or two, and that's, you know, they had that, and then some 47s.
Well, it doesn't sound like there's enough of them to go around, so I would assume these days not every studio's got one.
And that's true, except that they have been reissued as well.
And are the reissues good quality?
The guy that does it, he does a good job. They're worth about similar to like a limited edition or reissue Strat. You know, they do put the attention into it. It does have some value, but you know, it's nothing like the real thing, baby.
That's the history.
Yeah.
All right.
Very nice
cool.
talking to you, Norm. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. Okay, so this is my Art of Negotiation right here. Martin from Julian's here. So what is the breakdown on the buyer's premium?
So it's 25% on items up to 100,000 and 20% if you spend more than 100,000 per item.
So if I want to buy several items at 100,000,
Exactly, and for you, because you're such a special client, it's 200%.
see, that's how you do it.
Right there. That's the norm.
So here's going to be my tactic for tomorrow. Now, this is going to work, I think. I'm going to play a little bit of piano while the people are in. It's going to chase everybody out the door. And at that point, I'm going to start bidding on this stuff. Nice Steinway piano over here. It looks like it's Model B, said in August of 1955 this was done. So this is something that I'd like to have, but I have a feeling he's going to go for a lot of money. In conclusion, I think that not only are you going to have a lot of guitar freaks here, looking to buy guitars and see this stuff in person, but you're going to see a lot of audiophiles that are going to be looking for a lot of his recording equipment. And this is stuff that's so historical, everybody's got to see it. And I just thought that if you're not living in LA, didn't have a chance to see this would be a great time to take a look. And we'll have it for forever and ever. So thank you all for watching, and I appreciate you staying tuned to our videos. Thank you.